Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Tranquility's End. Playing as a Dark Eldar, we've got Wen-li, and playing as the Necrons, we've got Commissar NKVD. Commissar is going to go for a fistful of Builder Scarabs and all the usual plasma generators, whereas the Dark Eldar are going to be opening with double Mandrakes, a plasma generator, and a Hall of Blood. So we've got some bad robots versus some very naughty elves today on Tranquility's End. Let me tell you a story, let me spin you a yarn of my own personal interaction with some robots recently. Good lord, on the Discord server I've been fighting with this reaction robot to try and get it to do exactly what I want it to do, and well, I managed to eventually get it all sorted. It's now all up and running in theory, unless it's of course gone down since the last 5 minutes, as I did start, or at least I finished the job 5 minutes ago. But yeah, just well done me. Good job for fighting the robots, doing my bit for humanity. So anyway, we've got a Hall of Blood for an opening for Wen-li. Going to go for some warrior squads. Now, I'm not too familiar with openings of Dark Eldar against Necrons. I imagine the warriors with their swift maneuverability compared to Necron warriors and their general extra DPS, they should be able to take them out on a 1v1 situation. And that should be able to really get them going up until the tier 2s. I mean, these guys aren't all that expensive in the grand scheme of things. Dark Eldar will certainly have map presence in the early stages of the game, so maybe looking to go for these critical locations just to keep that Necron player on their toes. First squad of Necron warriors are coming out as the Commissar has captured this obelisk right here. This is normally the first port of call for harassment on this kind of map, so sticking an obelisk there at least slows these guys down just a smidgen. Builder Scarab's also going to come in as well, just to maybe tantalise them, just to distract them. They think, ooh, look, moving shiny person, quick, let me get him. But no, they need to stay focused on this obelisk. Well, I suppose they can't when there's a Builder Scarab nearby, so that will keep them alive for quite some time. Do have an Archon coming out. Might I just say, wonderful pink livery on these guys. Getting pink Power Ranger vibes, which is quite cool. Anyway, Warrior Squad over here will be able to take care of these Builder Scarabs quite nicely, shooing them away, unless of course these Necron warriors have anything to say about it. Yeah, one squad of Builder Scarabs looks like it might be taken down. Oh no, never mind. He survives to live another day, or unlive. Builder Scarabs over here looks like they've been sent away. And now we've got double Mandrakes taking out this obelisk over here. Slicing and dicing the stone of the Necrons. Obelisk over here also going to be pestered and bothered as well. And Necrons, they're chill, they're fine, they're kind of casual in here. It's only 25 green money for them, and it's at least stopping the Dark Eldar coming into their base and bothering them. Now got 6 plasma generators and a summoning core, so they will be able to push out and deal with some harassment before being able to teleport back to defend their hearth and home. And the Mandrakes are probably the side that they want to go up against. They can probably take on 2 squads of Mandrakes compared to a Archon and some warriors, but they will decide to turn back round, as there is a singular Archon, no Incubi with him. He's got no friends. I suppose friendship is not magic in Camera. Warrior Squad opening their wrists in solidarity with this strategic point. And now triple Necron warriors standing in this choke point, looking to hold firm against the Dark Eldar. And the Dark Eldar just run away. They've popped down the Tower of Loathing and they thought, right, okay, we've done our bit. We're doing our bit over here. We don't need to take down your base at the moment. We can just keep our map control where it is. Although no one going for their critical locations, which is... Oh, there we go. They've now started it. And Wen-li has gone for that strategic point-controlled countdown as well. But yeah, need to go for these critical locations. They do give you a little bit of extra blue money in the grand scheme of things, which every scrap of economy is always worth it the longer the game goes on. 1, 10 and 20 compared to 30% and 70. Necron's going to see if they can get some flayed ones on the field. which will be great against the warriors. Are we seeing tier 2? Yep, we are seeing tier 2. Also a homunculus laboratory and some more warriors. How much money have you got spare? No, you're spending all your money. That's fair enough. Everyone just falling back to the protective layer of this Tower of Loathing. Well, they might want to move up just a smidge just so you can provide some support. Necro Warriors now with their disruption field research. Going to provide a better firing line in the combat that is to come. Warrior Sybarite coming down. And some... oh, what do you call that ability that makes people blind or scared or whatever? Alright, well, that's a thing. And now, oh, we've got now triple warrior squads. And with their Sybarite, makes them anti-heavy infantry, I do have to say. He's got a gun on there that when they get their Soul Seeker ammunition upgrade thing, makes them a lot more lethal at ranged. Which I imagine is what they are... oh no, it's the Splinter Cannons research. Right, there we go. Yeah, morale being broken from all these Necrons, unable to repair themselves in a efficient manner. The Flayed Ones keeping these guys on their toes. Pushing them all the way back into the base. Tower of Loathing over on this side has been taken out. And now this Tower of Loathing is looking a little bit vulnerable. Being pushed all the way back inside. Sadly, they didn't quite have the firing line up in time. If they had all their warriors with all their Cyberites and upgrades, and there we go, Soul Secret ammunition research. That is the kind of what they needed ASAP. But that's fine. This squad, this bunch of Necron warriors should, in theory, be able to be pushed back should the Archon go about his wicked foul business. But Listening Post goes down. Plasma Generator also going to be knocked out. Wonderful use of... oh, there's the grenades. I'll have to double check in the and add it in post. As is my want to do. So I'm not able to know everything, am I? It's not like I've been doing this for nearly a year and a bit. How would I know all the abilities? Anyway, Great Summoning Core coming online. Tier 2.5, some would say. And all the warriors and Archon are looking quite angry. They want some revenge. Things are, yep, they are being rebuilt in Yang Wen-li's base. And they're just going to stride over with mighty movement speed. And begin to... I mean, what are you going to do? There we go, you're going to focus on the obelisk. Splinter cannons abound. Chunking down the obelisk quite nicely. Warriors over here. They've used their jumping juice to get back home. Now we're going to have to spend a while getting back over here. But a little bit tentative, a little bit gingerly are the Dark Eldar at the moment. They can anticipate that. In fact, can they even see them? I mean, not at the moment, but I imagine they know it's coming. They don't know where the Necrons are, but they know that they're somewhere, and they know that they are en masse. Interesting that we haven't seen a Necron Lord or any artifact plate. It's just been warrior mass. Now we're going to go for the Destroyer. Not sure these Splinter Cannons are going to fare against the Destroyer. But Necron warriors sadly being conga-lined in here. Aren't all that pleased with their firing concave. Will be attacked one unit at a time. But yeah, this Destroyer, my goodness. That's no happy time. Necron warriors over here have been stunned into silence by the Archon. That's quite a long stun. When are you being unstunned, Necron warriors? Not sure if that's a bug. Not sure if that is working as intended. Either way, it's the thing that's happening. Ah, there we go. They've finished. They had a think, and now they're back online. Clearly hacking into the mainframe. Witches out. Upgrade themselves with all the drugs in the world. A little bit of sniff to take on that Destroyer. And they are doing a fair bit of damage to it, but as the Necron warriors come in for support, they are going to be bothered. Oh dear, that tortured slave. Clearly not wanting to be in the service of the Dark Eldar anymore. Seeing his opportunity for the sweet release of death. And running past. And now the Necrons, bolstered by a singular destroyer, are going to be moving forth. But overextended just a smidgen, as more drugs are huffed. And might be able to take him down, actually. They could take him down. There'd be quite a big pickup for them. No, not quite. And now he's able to move behind the cover of these Necron warriors, preventing them from getting any good shots in on there. Tower of Loathing not upgraded, so won't be able to assist them. And yeah, it was a good push. A very good push indeed. But not quite able to get where he wanted to. 98 and 30 compared to 60% and 80. We'll still at Dark Eldar side just so we can hear some voices. To fill that void of sound, we've got double witches? Double witches now. In their shocking pink uniforms. But triple witches now. Looks like they're going to be focusing on engaging at ranged. Which their ranged actually does a little bit more damage than their close combat. From what their unit card tells me. Splinter Cannon's also been added to the Witch Succubus. And a second destroyer is on its way out. So, I mean, it's an interesting composition, is the witches. Although I'm not sure if they've got an answer for these destroyers at the moment. Need to get something either in the form of Scourges or maybe they're going to go for an Archon, which is like Crucible and Maledictum, which is what we saw over there earlier on. I do believe. Yeah, I mean, it'll do all right. Generally to pester these Necron warriors, but needs something a bit more of a kick to take on those destroyers. Got Corrosive Acid coming in. Mandrakes also, if anything, just to provide a slight distraction. Further combat stim's been added, but now, oh dear, quadruple destroyers on the wings now. Yeah, we need some serious anti-vehicle shenanigans coming out from the Dark Eldar if they want to even attempt at holding these guys off. The witches are a little bit more durable than their warrior counterparts, but I mean that's 4 destroyers, man. That's not a fleet you want to ignore. Going to see more witches there, doubling down. And the Necrons, all they need to do now really is just kind of do a big push. But in saying that, these destroyers aren't going to be all that useful if they are not supported by the Necron warriors. Necron warriors kind of need to come in and do a little bit of screening, maybe even just move into close combat, just to tie these ladies up in a purely non-Rule 34 manner. Ah, good. It's just witches all day long. If you can't beat them with one squad of witches, get 7. That's the strategy here. Necron's in the tier 3? Question mark? Maybe. We've got the Great Summoning Court at the very least. No need to go for anything heavier. Although this destroyer has gone down. Another destroyer. Oh no, they've all been separated. The combined mass and firepower of the Necrons being picked apart by all the single ladies. Crucible of Malediction going on the Necron warriors. Oh, so it wasn't the Crucible of Malediction going on with these guys over here. It was the Drain Life Stunning ability. Okay, there we go. We're all learning. Which is falling back as the Necrons find their mark. They've re-rallied themselves. A cheeky obelisk fire going on down there. Archon kind of in the middle of everything. But it is saying that the numbers of the Necrons are falling now. A couple of unfortunate engagements have kind of allowed these witches to get a few pickups. but are able to hold on just that little bit longer. Lots of dead Necrons here. Would love to see a Tomb Spider come up and hoover all these guys. There we go. Got the next units. Flayed ones teleporting back home. I'm going to jump straight back into that monolith. Ready to teleport again. An Archon going to be rebuilt, and tier 3 going for young Wen-li.
Victory countdown has begun.
But wanting to leave the base at the moment, knowing that those Necrons are outside, hearing their mechanical legs walking about, an intimidating auditory experience. But Necrons aren't gonna... Where are you going, Necrons? What's your plan? We've got... Oh, there's a Tower of Loathing here for you to kill. How long has that been there for? Should have really killed that a long time ago, if possible. And now the witches, they've seen the warriors over here. They've seen the destroyers down here now. Which way they're going to go? Crucible Maledictum going over on these Necrons over here. Flayed one's going to be popping around here to screen, I guess, but should have really gone a little bit south for these ladies. Girls now going to turn their attention to the destroyers, or whatever they can focus fire on at this time. Flayed ones being brought down en masse. And stunning ability going on that, and then a Soulstorm ability. Wonderful wombo combo of those abilities, but even a stunning doesn't stop them from teleporting back home. The Soulstorm being used to at least a little bit of an effect, forcing that teleport back home. Allows the Dark Eldar to regain some map presence. We've got to be careful not walking into your own Soulstorm there. And the warriors are now going to come straight back out. Corrosive acid being used. There we go. Might be able to get there. We go. One destroyer being taken out. They're going to continue the chase. Destroyers, while very mobile, are not able to fire backwards. Another malediction going on down there. Witches squads, though, reduced in their number. These guys have been stunned. Archon really being the linchpin that's holding this fighting force together. And if they can get some... I mean, all they really need is a couple of squad wipes just to free up some of the map for them. But they have achieved some stuff. Warp Beasts are now out with their Beast Master. And the speed on these ladies... I assume the Warp Beasts are also ladies. These guys are going to chunk their way, munch and crunch through Necrodermis with no trouble whatsoever. They're going to be really careful with these Warp Beasts that any flayed ones don't come anywhere near them. You don't want these guys to go rampage. There we go, flayed ones coming in, but not being teleported near those Warp Beasts, sadly. But I imagine that these guys will be able to outmaneuver the flayed ones regardless. Morale reduction ability coming on from the Dark Eldar. Destroyers on the back lines, flayed ones now get into close combat. But the Warp Beast not quite within range of it. Attempting to chase after that destroyer. But being a close combat oriented squad, they're not going to do all that much. And the Necrons once again teleport all the way back home. Flayed ones now being brought down. Did one flayed one teleport back home? Is that what we just saw? Or was that a squad wipe there? Kind of hard to tell. And now we've got a second squad of Warp Beasts on the go. So Dark Eldar really coming back into this. Now it's time to take down those obelisks. And what's the current squad pop at the moment? Yeah, so at the moment they've got 9 out of 20 and 3 out of 17. If they could reduce that quite substantially before the Necrons get any fresh ideas on building up, that would be some smashing stuff. What's coming out of you? We're going to go for Archon Retinue Enhancement. And Warp Beasts and Witches, akimbo, working in tandem, as only the Dark Eldar can. Do have an energy core over here, so I might potentially see the... Oh look, there we go, a Restore Monolith is on its way out. Soulstorm going on these guys, they've already used their teleporting ability. So they will be suffering from this just a little bit more than usual. Crucible and Malediction going on these Necron warriors. Doesn't look like there'll be a full-blown armor wipe going on here unless this Restore Monolith has anything to say about it. Going to teleport straight next to the Archon. Throwing out a big green. Doing a little bit of a spinny spin. Just because it can. But the Warp Beasts will be having none of it. They will be munching on the flanks of this monolith as quickly as possible. But the sheer amount of knockback from this, and also with these destroyers focusing fire on them, I do believe that all the Warp Beasts are dead. Question mark. Yes, the Warp Beasts are dead. Which is also not going to be faring all that much better. In fact, one squad wipe going on down there. Archon has been taken out as well. That was a lot of material to lose in that engagement. The moment that Restore Monolith came on, should have been a big runaway. But in all fairness, we have seen the Warp Beasts absolutely nuke a relic unit before, especially when they've been on drugs. So now what's going to happen? We've got 3 destroyers and a monolith. Going to regain those Warp Beasts. Which is, I mean, to be fair, I think this is probably go for the same composition, but go for a better engagement. Wait for that Restore Monolith to maybe come out somewhere where it's maybe more in the open so you can get a better surround on it. Just be really careful of these destroyers though. Would have loved to see at least just one squad of Scourges just to maybe screen these guys away from your close combat units. Going to go for another charge in. Might even potentially get this destroyed. There we go, one destroyer being taken down. Unfortunate waste of destroyers there. But he's got some spare. Going to regain his Necron Lord, who we haven't seen for quite some time. But regain, have we even seen him at all in this game? I'm not entirely sure. No, we haven't. This is his first foray onto the battlefield. Which is quite interesting. What is the Necron Lord going to add to this composition? Now he's in the late game. I'm not sure if the Solar Pulse will really do him any benefits. What have you... Can we see what you've gone for? Have you already built up all your things? Well, we can't see any Flattery on him. We can't see any of the little buggy things around him. So I imagine he's probably gone for something a little bit interesting and unique. Maybe a Resurrection Orb for all these lads down here. That would be my predictions. That would be my thinking. Maybe a Lightning Strike or Lightning Arc doofery to help him in the close combats. Maybe a Nightmare Shroud to confuse these guys for a little while, forcing them to retreat, then giving the destroyers a little bit of space to fire at them. Restore Monolith firing away at this relic. Pariahs now on the field. Useful in close combat. Also able to slow down these guys as and when they need. More combat drugs being ingested. Destroyer goes down. Necron Lord over here. There we go. Oh, he's gone for his phase shifter. Ah, you tease. I was expecting something exciting. Fine, okay. Commissar NKVD. You had me going there for a second. Restore Monolith coming in, gonna blast down all the things. Ravenbeater's taken out, dear oh dear, by those Immortals. We've got Nightmare Shroud. Do it! Do the Nightmare Shroud. Scare the ladies. For the viewers at home. For the millions watching. Oh, I never even noticed that the game was nearly over. I wasn't even focusing on that timer at all. But I suppose after seeing all this going on, the Pariahs, the elite units, the Immortals, moving on into the base, with a depleted mass of witches, there's not much really Yang Wen-li could do. But it was a very interesting composition, really reliant on the Archon and the Micron, that just to be able to do half that stuff that Yang Wen-li was able to do, very impressive, but well played by both players. And if you like the channel, do have a look at the Patreon. £1 a month does get you 1 extra game a week. Also, we have a Discord with now reaction rolls, which is quite exciting. So if you want to give that a sniff, have a look at the links down below. Mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. I'll see you in a bit. Peace!